Once upon a time, in a big, green jungle, there was a small house where a brave woman lived with her young son, Salomon. Salomon was a special boy because he couldn't see, but that didn't stop him from learning about the jungle from his mom. They didn't have much, and Salomon's dad was not with them, but they had each other and the jungle. Every day, Salomon's mom would teach him how to live in the jungle. It was tough living there, especially for Salomon, who couldn't see the beauty and dangers of the jungle. To make sure Salomon could always find his way back home, his mom had a clever idea. She tied a rope to Salomon so he could follow it back home, just like breadcrumbs in the story of Hansel and Gretel. Salomon's mom also showed him how to catch food by setting traps, because in the jungle, you have to be smart to have your dinner. One day, they checked the traps together, finding them all empty except one. It was a small catch, but it was better than nothing. When it was time to eat, Salomon's mom shared an important jungle rule with him. We must give back to the jungle half of what it gives us. So, Salomon, being a good boy, split their catch into two. Together, with the long rope guiding them, they went to a dense part of the jungle. They couldn't go too far in, but they threw one part of their catch back into the jungle, hoping to keep the balance of nature. The next adventure was fishing, but luck wasn't on their side. They couldn't catch any fish. Salomon thought the bait might be too small, so he decided to find bigger worms in the jungle. While searching, his hands stumbled upon a chain. This was strange because you don't find chains just lying around in a jungle. Curious and a bit scared, Salomon felt the chain move. Just then, his mom found him, worried and upset. "Why did you wander off so far?" she scolded. Salomon knew he had made a mistake and said sorry to his mom. She was more scared than angry, hiding something about the jungle that Salomon didn't know. That night, Salomon's mom told him a story about a goat that went too far into the jungle and never came back. It was a cautionary tale, meant to teach Salomon to always be careful and never stray too far. After his mom told him a spooky story, Salomon got curious about what happens after people die. His mom said she wasn't sure where people go, but she believed that death wasn't the end of everything. She told Salomon he should believe that too. That was the last deep talk they had before his mom had to leave their little jungle home. She didn't come back, and Salomon was left with just a tape recording where his mom said sorry for leaving and shared 3 important rules to live by. These rules were like a treasure map for surviving the jungle. First, always give back half of what you take from the jungle. Second, if you're ever scared or in trouble, sing the special song they shared. And third, never leave the house without the safety rope. Years went by, and Salomon followed these rules like a captain follows the stars. Then one day, everything went topsy-turvy. Salomon went hunting, but came back empty-handed. He managed to catch a fish, but he was so hungry he forgot the first rule and ate it all without giving half back to the jungle. That night, the jungle seemed to whisper and grumble, unhappy with Salomon. Ignoring the jungle's whispers, Salomon went to sleep, only to find his goat dead the next morning. Things got weirder when he found a dead deer in the jungle, a sight he'd never seen before. As he pondered over these odd events, he heard a human voice for the first time since his parents. It was Hang, a hunter, who warned Salomon to stay away from the deer he claimed to have hunted. When Hang tried to take the deer, Salomon, thinking fast, defended himself with a knife, accidentally hurting Hang. The hunter retaliated, and Salomon passed out. Waking up, Salomon found Hang not as a threat, but as a guest offering peace. Hang had followed the rope to Salomon's home and offered to share his hunt in exchange for shelter for the night. Hang was curious about how Salomon, being blind, could survive alone in the jungle. He offered to take Salomon somewhere safer, but Salomon was content. His home was in the jungle, surrounded by memories, the lessons from his mom, and the life he knew how to navigate thanks to the rules. After Salomon and his new friend Hang settled down for the night, strange and scary noises begin to fill the dark jungle. Hang, curious and a bit scared, grabs his gun and heads out to investigate these mysterious sounds. Sounds that even Salomon, who knows the jungle well, can't explain. Hang ventures into the deepest parts of the jungle, a place Salomon was always told to avoid but where he dutifully leaves half his food. What Hang finds is shocking. A giant bear, a mighty creature of the forest, lying dead. It makes Hang wonder, what could be powerful enough to take down such a beast? As he tries to uncover this mystery, he feels something ominous lurking behind him. Fearing for his life, Hang rushes back, asking Salomon if he knows what could be following him, but Salomon is clueless. The next day, as Hang prepares to leave, he mentions needing a place to store deer meat. Salomon, wanting to help, mentions he knows where to find some supplies, including a chain. Together, they find a secret cave, but as they approach, a fierce bird attacks, forcing them to retreat. Back home, Hang is puzzled to see Salomon throwing meat into the jungle, a ritual Salomon explains he's been doing for years, following his mom's instructions. Hang starts to think there's something magical or mystical at play, suggesting that the fears they face might be overcome by confronting whatever lurks in the jungle. As they prepare to face the unknown, Hang extends Salomon's rope with torn pieces of cloth, making it longer, and they venture deeper into the jungle. Suddenly, Salomon is attacked and calls out for Hang to read him a story, a comforting tale his mom used to share, to calm his nerves. In the darkness of the night, Hang investigates the cave tied to the rope's end, while Salomon, breaking another of his mother's rules, unties the rope and steps further into the jungle. What he discovers is heart-wrenching. Hang's lifeless body. Overcome with grief, Salomon hears the haunting voice again, but this time it's shockingly close. The voice doesn't belong to a monster, but to Salomon's own mother. Her eyes changed, hinting at a dark possession. Unable to see, Salomon doesn't realize it's his mom. In a moment of fear, he sings the song his mom taught him, which brings her close. But, misunderstanding the situation, he accidentally harms her. This tragic moment reveals a family curse, one that had transformed Salomon's dad into a creature and then passed to his mom. Unbeknownst to him, Salomon had been feeding this curse by following his mom's rule of giving back to the jungle, unknowingly sustaining his transformed parents. With his mom's death, the curse now falls upon Salomon, his eyes changing to mirror hers, signaling the curse's transfer. This tale weaves a story of love, fear, and the mysteries hidden in the jungle, showing how Salomon, guided by his mom's rules, faces the unknown, only to discover the heartbreaking truth of his family's fate.